interesting. Hello, here we go. It's the Dijk podcast. Hello, welcome back to the Dijk podcast. Feels like it's been forever since the three of us have got on here and chat from Liverpool. Welcome back, and welcome back to Mick. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. It feels like a long time. I think the last one, I did was with David Lynch, and then that seems like a lifetime ago. But before that, it was fucking. Feels like about. Has it been 2 weeks? Has it been 3 weeks? I don't know. Fuck knows.
God knows. But excited to get into this one because Twitter's been fucking bananas since the last time we did a Twitterverse. So it'll be interesting to see what tweets you've pulled out for us, Tim.
Yeah. But we'll start off with a little bit of lighthearted stuff. So here's the first tweet. So West Ham Central, who actually says no, with a picture of Aguero's face on a West Ham kit, and someone tweeted probably Aguero, mate.
Oh, love that one. That is absolute. Throw it up again, mate. Let's see it again.
Yeah, there you go.
Harrison Preston probably got. Do you know what? Fair play. And do you know what? He's a Hammers fan as well, isn't he? You see it in his handle at WHUF. You know what? Fair play to him, yeah. Somehow I can't see that one happening. What about you, Mick?
Yeah, I mean, it's just fucking transfer season and then on Twitter. So I've seen a load of Aguero quotes from years ago before he signed for City saying he's a Liverpool fan. He's always supported Liverpool. He celebrated Istanbul like he would of an Independiente game. It's like, fucking hell. But yeah. It's going to be interesting where he goes, but fucking hell, if West Ham manage to get him, that's going to be Tevez Mascherano levels.
Just about to say that. But yeah, that one's that's definitely not right. But wherever Aguero goes, I still think he could do a job wherever he goes. I'll be honest. Regardless of his injuries and stuff like that, I think he's being phased out at City. That's very obvious. But wherever he goes, rivalry aside, what a striker, and a man that's really made his mark in the Premier League and deserves all the accolades he gets. Fair play to him. Sad to see him leave, really, because I always like seeing the best strikers in the world playing in the Premier League. So, but yeah, fucking glad that he's not going to be a thorn in our ass anymore. Or is it thorn in his side? I don't really know.
Well, either or, he was a thorn. It's certainly, he's a Premier League legend at this point, and certainly one of the most talented players we've had in the league for the last decade at least. We are going to stick with the subject of Man City, actually, with our next tweet, something that's actually popped up quite a bit, and some of our players being compared to theirs. So Salah fans have no leg to stand on in Salah versus Mahrez debates if City win the Champions League. So okay. I'm going to come straight to Jay with this one because I feel like you'll be ready for that.
Throw it back up again, mate. Let's have a look.
It is...
So Salah fans have no leg to stand on. Right, okay. Right, so Salah's already won the Champions League, hasn't he, for a start? So let's just throw that out there. So that's already 1-0. Mahrez hasn't got one to his name. Is it the whole African thing they're throwing out there because of where they're both from in terms of countries? And there's been always that debate of the Footballer of the Year, African Nation Footballer of the Year, with both very talented players. I don't see how you can debate the better player, should say. It's obviously Mo Salah. He's consistently hitting 30 goals a season. He's, they both won the Premier League. Salah's won the Champions League as we record this. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen for Mahrez. No offense to Mahrez. But yeah, that's not even a debate right now. Why do people have to tweet that shit? Let's debate it afterwards. Do you know what I mean? You're asking for that debate now. That's just causing arguments anyway in the replies. But that's not even a fucking debate right now. It's Salah all the way. But even if it does happen, it's still fucking Mo Salah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Well, Mick, my question to you actually is because that we've seen this with more than one City player being compared to a Liverpool player. We've had the Ruben Diaz and Van Dijk comparisons. Is it City fans, the 14-year-old City fans who have been there throughout the history of their club? Actually, funnily enough, is it them trying to force a rivalry?
Yeah, that is the literal answer. Yes, that's what's going on. I mean, I seen something yesterday where obviously City beat PSG, and then Van Dijk was trending on Twitter. And it's like, well, that says a lot. I mean, I don't know if that's saying a lot about City fans or it's just saying a lot about Twitter in general. Because I saw a few Barca fans like doing Mahrez is better than Salah. Is that now common knowledge? It's like it's just posting just for the sake of fucking trying to gain traction, and it's just so boring. But yeah, like Jay said, Salah's won all kinds of fucking trophies. Top goal scorer, the amount of goals he gets, how high he is in the all-time Liverpool goal scoring list. Just look at that as a start. I think he's joint ninth, is he now, something like that, or joint eighth in the all-time.
I think so, mate. Yeah, I think so.
Which is just ridiculous for player who's been here for 4 years. So, yeah. Can I say it any better than that? I don't think so. I think it's an easy answer. I get it. Like both right-sided left footers like to cut in, both dribblers, both great players, but it's just the age of comparing players. Like it's just the Gerrard and Scholes Lampard debate, and it's the same shit over and over. And even when they're long gone and they've retired, it'll still probably be a debate as well. If Mahrez does end up to go and win some Champions Leagues and that, then it'll be more of a debate as well.
It's a good point you've just said there, mate, because they both won players that did Player of the Year as well, didn't they? That's just popped into my head as well. They both won that accolade, so it's a very parallel thing. But when you, like Dan said, they are different players, aren't they? Salah, all right, Salah is a forward technically, but so's Mahrez. If you the way you look at it, like what you said, mate, when he's cutting in. But yeah, you're obviously going to choose Salah. I mean, Tim, you're going to say something, mate. Sorry.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say it. Mick's made the point there. It's just we're at a point in time where everyone's voicing their opinions on social media, and everyone seems to have an opinion on who's better than who, rather than just appreciating what we get to see on a weekly basis on a football pitch. So, for me, Mahrez has been quality for a long time. I think he's a player who can change a game, but if I'm gonna take Mo Salah every day of the week. But at the same time, I do appreciate that Mahrez is having one hell of a season. He played really well in both legs against PSG, and he's certainly a talented man. All right, well, we're going to move on. And our next tweet. Champions League football on ITV is the best. I'm on my knees for you to take it back from BT Sport, ITV football, from it being free to air to the crowd volume and commentary. It was perfection. All right. I certainly couldn't agree more. Mick, we're going to come to you with that one.
Well, I was just going to say, have you got your plug ready? Because Jay can go wax lyrical about a certain fella, which I know he's going to do. So we might as well let's go to Jay on this one.
So, when it comes to ITV commentary, there's only one person you think of, and that's Clive Tilsley. Funnily enough, Clive Tilsley gave the Cop Out podcast an interview last year, which was very raw and very emotional, and me and Mick had to pause a couple of times because actually it brought us to tears. That bit was cut out, but if you want to watch that amazing hour documentary on Clive Tilsley's career at Liverpool, then give it a shout. It's on one of our playlists. You can even get his commentary chart from Istanbul. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, it is arguably the best interview we've done with Clive Tilsley. Bish bosh, Mick, go.
Yeah, what see above. Yeah, I just think it's just it's the commentators in it. It's the having no fans and then having to listen to them drone on, because like when there's fans there, you can kind of just the commentators just sometimes listen to the atmosphere and they don't say anything for a bit. But when there's no fans, they've got to kind of keep that fucking shit drivel up. And then when you're relying on the likes of Martin Tyler and fucking other people like that, you're just like, well, literally scraping the barrel here. And I think Clive Tilsley's just a master at the art at doing stuff like that. Like Jay said with his commentary charts, that's the stuff that the in-depth levels that he goes to, and it's not the little shit bits that Tyler says, oh yeah, Liverpool haven't lost to Aston Villa since 1962.
History lesson.
Yeah, and just like, fuck off, you old bastards. But,
it's the energy as well, isn't it? It's the energy, and I think a lot of people that they've grown up with ITV, producing those moments. And when we spoke to Clive, not just about the Liverpool stuff, about FA Cup finals, he's done Manchester United and Barcelona in 1999. That was such epic moments, and the phrases that come out of it. And in the 90s when Beglin and Townsend were co-commentating with Tills, their energy was fantastic as well, and we don't get that anymore with BT Sport, and it's such a shame because it is arguably our favourite competition as a fan base, and we want those moments to sort of come back again. And it should be BT Sport is a fucking rip-off. It really is. And it should be on free to air. I mean, I think everything should be on BBC and ITV anyway, because it should be for everybody to enjoy. But yeah, when it was on ITV Sport, mate, it was brilliant, and it was the best thing. And you know, I was shocked when ITV got rid of Clive Tilsley, really was. But obviously, Yuki, one of our subscribers from Southern California, she gets the Clive Tilsley commentary sometimes on CBS, so she gets the best of both worlds there. So yeah, it'd be great if we got it back, mate. Hopefully, with all these massive changes that are going on, but again, money talks, doesn't it? So we just don't know. But yeah, it's great to have it. It's fun to look back on as well and remind you of those moments.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that certainly my childhood was built on ITV evenings, watching the Champions League, and yeah, it's certainly taken a downgrade. I know obviously there's, as you said, money talks, and there's more money, and BT Sport are obviously paying out their asses for the Champions League. And to be honest, if you're going to pay for the Champions League, you should. But at the same time, I think throwing it back to simpler times is much nicer to watching experience, certainly. All right, well, we're going to stick with watching experiences with the news that 10,000 fans will be back in Anfield against Crystal Palace on Sunday, the 23rd of May. All right, so Jay, what you got to say about this news? 2 months too late or what?
Oh, well, everything's got to be safe, mate, but I just think that's great news. Mick, you said it perfectly, didn't you, on the WhatsApp group? Just get fans back in the ground, and I just hope and pray that it does go ahead. There's nothing that's going to stop it. There's no fucking legislation or COVID hiccups that come our way and stuff like that. To get 10,000 people back inside that ground is massive, and we needed that because we needed it when it happened against Wolves and earlier on in the season, and it was great to have 2,000 back in. So imagine 10,000 will feel like 54, won't it, Mick?
Yeah, I always talk about this, but the Bobby Firmino goal where he scores, he runs down to the Kop and celebrates with them. It's just moments like that, even with like 10k in the stadium, it doesn't matter. It's just having those in there at least makes a difference to us anyway. Because I firmly believe, especially after this season, that we rely on fans more than any other club in the world. I'm genuinely convinced by that. That by the way the season's gone, I know seasons have been a big part of that, but us not having fans, I think it's affected Everton and quite a few teams as well. And I don't know if it's just me being a sour bastard, but this season I just can't be arsed watching anything like Champions League semi-final. Even if it's not Liverpool, I'm usually like dead up for it, and it's just like I can't even be arsed it. And like you're thinking of like a parallel world. Would all of these teams have got this far if there was fans in the stadium? And my genuine answer is no. Like for City, like I think we beat Real Madrid if we've got fans. I don't even care how bad we're doing in terms of league wise and whatever. I still think we beat them at Anfield. I still think they crumble, and I don't think City get to the final. I don't know if that's just me being a sour bastard. It might be. It probably is. But I just feel like that's the case, and it's just. Yeah, I like you said, Jay. I don't want any hiccups on what we can on integrating fans back into the stadium, because I think we need that. I think as Liverpool fans, we definitely need that. But I think as a sport as well, as a country, we need that, especially with all the shit that we've had to deal with over the past couple of weeks as well. It made that even more pertinent that happens as soon as it can.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like not having fans gives certain teams advantages as well. I feel like, it's always the running joke with Man City, isn't it? That, they're playing at home basically every week now because there aren't any fans in any of the stadiums. But, as Liverpool fans, we know what our impact is on a game, especially when we're in the stadium. But for me, it comes down to, and the next tweet has something to do with what I'm going to say now, but football's not been great to watch this year. And it's not just been because Liverpool have been shit, because I think even if Liverpool have been decent, I think that the kind of the product that it's become it's just not a great watch anymore, is it? Can't really put a tackle in anymore. VAR is ruining and slowing down games and making bad decisions. No fans in the stadium, so there's no atmosphere around the game at all. Referees are being criticised left, right, and centre. There's injuries all over the place. I know Liverpool have been the hardest hit, but there has been injuries around the league as well that have ruined other teams' chances. And commentary shit. And now you've got all the Super League stuff. I feel like football as a sport has been tainted this year, and I think that a lot of it's to do with the fans, but it feels like everything else has sort of collapsed with that. Anyone else want to comment on that?
Yeah, I think referees, fans, and VAR are the three main things, but I think they're all kind of hand in hand. Like referees are getting away with murder this year, especially given shit decisions, and they know they haven't got 50,000 people there to give them grief about it. So they're like, well, what's the worst that can happen? I'm not going to give an interview after the game. I can just go back to my little cozy house, get a cup of tea, and forget about it all. And there's no questions being asked of them. So I just can't wait for that, because like it's when we don't have Hendo in the team, it's so prevalent that he's not there. But when there's no fans, it's like a double whammy, and then you throw Van Dijk into the mix, you throw Gomez into the mix, you throw Matip into the mix. And it's just like people throwing questions at Liverpool going, why are we so shit? It's like, well, the easy answer is the correct answer.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to move that on to our next tweet, actually. And like I said, it is slightly relevant even to what we're talking about now. It is, I think, learning to enjoy football again is more important to me than winning trophies next season. Goals, fans, Harvey Elliott, and our beautiful manager going nuts on the sideline will definitely get the ball rolling. So, thoughts on that? Has he got a point there? Jay?
Yeah, 100%, mate. There's so much, not just Harvey Elliott, fucking Van Dijk, Henderson, Gomez, having our normal 11 back together again, and having the likes of Thiago playing in his natural position so we can see the best of him, rather than him having to be a utility player. Fabinho, go on.
I was going to say he's not got any assists this year. He's crap.
I don't even know who he is, mate. I haven't got a clue who he is. But yeah, it's like Mick said before. It's just, I just want to delete it. It like if anything can go completely worse, it's this. You know, the lads in the comments have said about Everton winning at Anfield. That's happened, and at the time recording, you know, City are about to go into Champions League final in Istanbul. We haven't retained our title. We've dropped off. We've dropped out of the top four. It's sickening right now, and it's a season I just want to. I can't remember a worse one overall. That could have all the things that have gone wrong for us, and like other teams winning bits and pieces. It hurts more because we know we're such a top side, and we should have been there and thereabouts for the biggest prizes, but unfortunately we weren't. Circumstances are just gone. But it'll be interesting to see this summer, because I'm looking forward to this summer in terms of what our club's going to do. I think it's been really important that we make a statement again next season. I think the team does need a little bit of a rebuild in terms of like maybe fresh faces, someone to really put pressure on that front three as well as Jota, and maybe another midfielder, because obviously the likes of a few others will probably leave. That's a debate for another podcast. But it'd be nice to see, and FSG have got a lot to answer for as well. After the last couple of weeks, hashtag no Super League talk, but they've got a statement to make, and I think putting their hand in the pocket to bring in a marquee signing or a big name or something like that would be quite important for a lot of fans. There's still a lot of things to think about when it comes to that. It's a business at the end of the day, but it's going to be a really interesting summer, because I think this is going to be one of the biggest shake-ups that we'll see at the club for a while in terms of where this current Liverpool side has been. It's got to now, and something slightly has to change. So, yeah, I'm all for it, mate. Let's bring on next season. Can we skip the Euro straight away, press that fast forward button, and fucking crack on? Can we do that now?
I wish.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think with Henderson and Van Dijk, with the rumours of them playing at Euros, I think we'll all be sitting kind of, it'll be squeaky bum time for a lot of Liverpool fans.
Just to quell. Kieran's right. I didn't mean a rebuild. I meant a refresh. Yeah. To be fair, he's absolutely spot on.
Yeah, I think the edges need trimming and a bit of a restyling. I think, because as you said, it's the core lot have still played decently. I think that obviously we can talk about our front three not being a formal day, but I think that had we had one more player like Jota who came off the bench and could have that impact on a game, I think the season would have gone a little bit differently. Mick, what do you think?
Yeah, it was just like the perfect storm this year. Unfortunately, everything was just seemingly going wrong, and we had little spells where we were doing well, and then we pick points up and we'd be like, right, this is the Liverpool we know and love, and then we'd drop back down again because we just didn't have that resilience. We didn't have that strength and depth that Van Dijk and a Gomez and a Matip at the back provide. And or strength and depth. I mean, like strength at the back, like as a foundation. That's what I mean. But like when you lose that, and that's the sole focus for everything good that this team does. It's hard to, it's impossible to replace, and to try and do that in season, you're fucked basically. You just kind of struggle on through and see how we get on. I mean, Fabinho was meant to be a fourth choice, just like if we need him, he's there, and he's been pretty much there the whole time, hasn't he? Up until the point that we got Kabak in. So it's just one of them things. Like just a refresh is needed. Like I said, like in the comments said, like Harvey Elliott maybe coming in, and certain players getting binned, and but the one good thing I'm taking from it, I'm trying to be ever the optimist, that I'm hoping that this is the platform for it never going this badly again, because Klopp's had the experience now that it's gone so badly wrong with this season, albeit a lot of luck's involved in that, but that'll have prepared them for any other eventuality going forward. But yeah, like Ian says there, you break it down to goalkeeper, defence, midfield and strikers split into 4 sections. 75% of our span has been out for the majority of the season. That's a perfect way of summing it up. And I think it's stuff like that where you can't really legislate for that, and there's no way you can fix that in season. So you just need to fucking have a shake up and then crack on next season.
Yeah, I think that one of the biggest issues that we've had this year is that because Man City have been our closest rivals in the league over the last 2-3 years, that our squad often will get compared to them. And I think that people want the owners to spend like a Man City, but I think that takes away from what Liverpool are as a club. And it's just one of those things, isn't it? When you're getting compared to Man City, when they essentially change their entire back four in the Premier League, saving a Premier League game so they can save these guys for a Champions League night, and they're bringing on 500 million worth of subs. It's completely different, and I don't want Liverpool to be a team like that, because for me, I think with the squad we already have, I think we can compete with the Man City. I just think, as we've said, I think a refresh and kind of just putting a couple more quality players so that we have a little bit more depth rather than a little bit more star power, because I think that to have consecutive seasons where we've over the two seasons, almost total 200 points in the Premier League, to then total what's going to be looking to be probably about somewhere between 60 and 64. It's a drop off like that isn't realistic, and had we had a full squad, there's no way that we'd be in this position. I think that anyone that's being realistic can see that. So I think it's less about adding the star power, because we already have the star power to put up 90-point seasons, and we've seen, as we said, consistently up until now. So for me, it's about pushing those stars to be that next level player, and the only way to do that is having competition on the bench. So yeah, all right. Well, we're going to move on. We're going to stick with the transfer rumors, because this is our next tweet. Ibrahima Konate, everything is practically done. 5-year contract agreed. Liverpool are willing to pay the release clause. It's just a matter of time, but I expect him to be a Liverpool player. And that was said by Fabrizio Romano on the Here We Go podcast. So, fellas, Ibrahima Konate, initial thoughts. First thing that comes to your mind, Mick.
Beast.
It's about right. What do you think of the sign?
I mean, we didn't get to see him in the games we played against Leipzig, so I mean, it would have been nice to see him in those games, but I think he was injured for the first game, and then I think he was on the bench for the second, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But looks like a good player. I mean, to be honest, I've only seen fucking YouTube compilations, so I'm in no way to fucking give like proper facts on how good he is, but he's the archetypal Liverpool centre half, isn't he? He's tall, he's quick, he's good on the ball, he carries out from the defence, he's young. So yeah, high ceiling. He's got all the hallmarks of a Liverpool centre half. So, and if Klopp and the recruitment team want him, then he must be a fucking decent player, mustn't he? So, just want to see him come in now. And if that's going to happen, I want it to be as soon as possible, so we can get him in ready for next year. So we can, like we said, we need to crack on. And with these extra players coming in, it's going to be. I'm hoping we're going to be as strong as fuck with a load of boss players coming in. And we just absolutely smash everyone to pieces next year. And like if City end up doing a double, like the Champions League and the Premier League, And what better way to think, right, fuck this, let's go and do that next year and prove that they're not the best team that the world's ever seen. That Liverpool are that. And then that's what motivations you need to go and do that.
Well, Jay, is this the start of that summer spend that we're all kind of craving?
Absolutely, mate. These rumours are that it's a done deal and all that are not really going away, and they seem pretty concrete. So would like to think that it's all a done deal, not like the Timo Werner situation all over again. But I think this is the refresh that we need with those types of players coming in. I think we've all known we've needed that extra partner for Van Dijk, and I'm pleased that it is the likes of Konate, and we're getting somebody like that as well. And if Kabak signs as well, great. I wouldn't say no to having him as well, and giving us that added depth. So we're less likely to get. Sorry, this fucking dog is doing my head in. And I mean, just look at the fucking state of him. Look at him.
That is class.
Fucking little dick. Anyway, well, pretty much. But yeah, I just think it's just a refresh that we need, isn't it? Any extra bodies is going to be great. You put pressure on the players that are currently in that Liverpool 11, in that Liverpool squad. It's all positive, and let's just keep it going like that. And like you said, mate, if we can get a few more extra players in like that new strikers, I think Dan made a really good point earlier, didn't he? Sort of Alisson, Trent, Konate, new striker with Jota, and then to rotate Firmino, Mane, but brilliant as well. I mean, I'm not saying about the rotation there, who starts and who doesn't, but I think from that perspective, that's really, really good. So yeah, it's all positive, mate. And again, getting business done early. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see stuff agreed, and then they come in when the transfer window opens, and it's good. It's really good with stuff like that. But just coming on to what Kieran just said here, just want to ask you this, Tim. The question is, would you sell Matip for any fee? And he said, there's obviously still the Konate stuff. Very good player, but we have to put some respect on Joe Gomez. There were concerns of his career, but they have died down massively. Absolutely. And Kieran, you're absolutely spot on, mate. For me, it would still be a Joe Gomez-Van Dijk partnership, 100%. I'm just concerned about Joe Gomez's injuries because he's had 3 major injuries at Liverpool, and that's my only concern about it. I'd still go with Gomez-Van Dijk as the partnership next season, boys. I don't know about you. But Tim, I'll throw that at you. Obviously, is it the same for you for Gomez? And would you sell Matip for any fee?
If we sign Kabak, I would sell Matip, and purely because when you then look at what would be our 4 centre back options, you'd have Gomez, Konate, and Kabak, who are all under the age of 24, with the best defender in the world alongside them. So you'd have, upwards of 10 years of quality defending, and them learning off the best player, what to me is the best player in the world, the best defender in the world. So for me, I would, just purely because if they do see Kabak as that guy, I would save on some wages, because at the end of the day, you don't, as much as we probably could have done with 5 quality centre backs this year, we don't necessarily need them. And Matip has proven that although he's unbelievable when he's on a football pitch, it's a rarity at the moment. And as much as it's been a need for us this year, I would let him go for the sake of kind of starting to push a younger core of Liverpool centre backs through alongside Van Dijk, and making sure that we're set for the next 10 years and we're dominant for the next 10 years rather than the next 2, and sacrificing a player like Kabak who has shown the potential to be a very, very, very good defender in order to keep Matip when he's had problems with his availability himself.
Good point, mate.
Mick, any thoughts on that? You want to add anything?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be hard for me, because I do like Matip, but he's just not on the field often enough. I mean, when he's on top form, he's bossing it. We all know that he's really, really quality. He's really, really good quality. But like, I agree with Jay. It's Gomez and Van Dijk as the first 2 for me. But like Chris said in the comments, we can't put too much pressure on Gomez, especially with them injuries and that hideous scar he's got on his left leg. It's fucking horrendous. So it's going to be a long road back for him in terms of match fitness and whatever. But he's got a long time to get himself there. And if we did sign Konate and we did sign Kabak and Matip went and we kept Phillips around as well, there's a load of cover there just to kind of to keep us ticking over and integrate Gomez back in as slow as we can. And same for Van Dijk, really, because we don't want Van Dijk going down injured again, especially as he's unfortunately getting on in numbers. I think he's 30 this year, isn't he? So same as Matip. So yeah, it's going to be it's good that we get all these players are getting mentioned. Like if we do sign those two, like Kabak's 20, just turned 21, Konate's 22, really young, high ceiling, and like you said, Tim, learning from Van Dijk. What better player to be learning from to kind of mould your game on?
Yeah, I agree. It's always tough to let go of a guy like Matip. You know, he was the guy who played in the Champions League final, and you know he's put in some stellar performances over his time here, and he came on a free. So, you know, he's the ultimate bargain. But yeah, I would you know let him go on the basis that we're going to pull in a couple of younger guys. All right, so we're just going to finish off here with the last tweet. And it is, Thiago tackles like I do when I'm 5-0 down on FIFA. So, Mick, do you want to comment on this? Is this frustration or is this just him being a feisty bastard?
I think that's slander, and I demand you retract it immediately. Nah, he does. He's an absolute wizard, and I love him. But I think he's just. I mean, recently I've watched quite a few of the games where he played for Bayern just to kind of see what he was like more, because I've only seen clips. So I've watched quite a bit recently in my spare time because I'm a sad bastard and I love Thiago. And he does obviously play. He is quite ferocious in the tackle, but I think in a Bayern team he done it really well, being a bit higher up the pitch. And I think he was in the six quite a lot for us this year, when he was kind of, a lot of pressure was on him to keep the opposition like from attacking and also build attacks as well. So there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders. So I'm hoping next year, like we all are, that we see a renewed lease of life for Thiago, and that he's got the shackles are free. We've got a good foundation at the base of centre half, which is, like I said before, that's what we're built on. And if we haven't got that, it's quite difficult to replicate that. So when Van Dijk and Gomez are back up to full speed, even if it's Konate and Kabak, then I'm hoping Thiago with Fabinho in the holding role, then Thiago can be unbelievable for us, and those assist numbers can start going up. But yeah, he does tackle a bit. I think the last couple of games anyway, the last maybe 5 games, he's looked a little bit better in terms of his tackling. He hasn't been flying in. I mean, he got a fucking earful off Hendo, didn't he, during one game? I can't remember what game it was. So I think he is trying to not go into crazily and just be kind of more tactical with it. But yeah, I just can't wait for, like Jay said, delete this season, crack on with next season, and just pretend Thiago's a brand new signing, and we'll just live in La La Land until Liverpool are boss again.
Jay, anything to add on that? Frustration, was it, this year for Thiago, coming into a situation he probably wasn't expecting?
Yeah, I think so. I seen one Liverpool fan make a joke about Thiago saying, Liverpool sold me a dream, which I thought was quite funny and quite tongue-in-cheek and typical humour, and I thought it was really funny. It's just such a shame he's ended up in the world that we're all in, that we've just gone. It's just been unlucky. This season, like Kieran said earlier, this season's proved heads need to go over the heart this summer. I think you've got to make some smart decisions, and this is going to be likely but the team will be built around Thiago, and you know, like the lad said in the comments before, the spine is so important. You can't win anything without a really, really good spine. And he is a massive cog in that spine. So the team will be built around him next season. Like I said earlier, he'll be playing in his more natural position. He'll have the support of Hendo and Fabinho, or whoever it's going to be around him. And we'll see the best of him, no doubt. And again, we don't have to get so focused on the assisting. I know we're all making a joke of it now, and it is the ironic thing that Liverpool fans now make the joke about Thiago and 0 assists to other fans, because it's not what he was known for at Bayern Munich. He wasn't known for playing that pass. He wasn't, playing that final ball in. He was known for doing all the fucking donkey work in that centre circle. A bit like what Alonso did. Alonso didn't get, vast amount of assists for Liverpool, but everyone knew what he fucking did on the pitch. He did the 2 or 3 passes before the final pass, and you're not getting that final pass out the 2 or 3 before. And as you boys know, I like my ice hockey. A lot of players, they get credited for an assist if they are the second to last or the third to last pass, before the actual assist, because they're still part of the build-up play. And that's what gets lost in football as well. You know, someone could do all the donkey work on the pitch and weave in and out, and then they could pass it to one person who just plays half a yard, and then they get credited the assist. And that's the thing that people forget. That's the way that stats can be manipulated. And it's unfortunate for Thiago, because a lot of people don't see that when it comes to the numbers. But we all know what he does. We watch him week in and week out. And again, like I said, next season, I just can't wait, because it's going to be like a new signing, you know, to do that fucking cliche shit. But it will be. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to next season already.
Couldn't agree more. All right, you guys want to add anything before we finish up here?
Thiago, I love you. And stay as long as you can, lad.
Absolutely.
Fucking
Absolutely.
hell. Fucking hell. Someone kicked me out the fucking group here. Fucking hell. No,
Just,
I just want to echo what Jay said, because like it's so easy just to overlook that, and people who don't watch Liverpool often won't, or you're just watching the highlights, you'd only see the assist and then the goal, and then you read the numbers back and it's like, oh, the assist was by Mane and the goal was by Salah, but the ball through that cut the defence up and into pieces was the ball by Thiago, and that's not getting, there's no way to kind of fucking register that on any metrics really. So it's just about having some insight into what Thiago actually brings, and it's like he's had a career high of 6 assists, and I think that was like 2 or 3 years ago. That's not very much, is it? So that proves that even those amounts is it's an all right amount for a midfielder, but that's not his game. And if I think like Phil McNulty mentioned it, didn't he, on a tweet, like a Chris Baskin piece, and it was like that, and Phil McNulty was saying that's Thiago's job, and it's like, well, I can't understand why like an esteemed journalist is saying stuff like that when you should know that it's not his job. Like, he's not far enough off the pitch really to be, unless it's like there was a chance this season where he played a boss little clip ball over from a free kick and Bobby should have scored, then that would have been an assist. But he doesn't get high up into those areas. He provides the balls out to the wing or into slightly central areas, and then it goes on from there. So it's just having a bit of just watching the game really, just fucking and realizing what he does. But I think it's just the age of Twitter and little kids on Twitter just provide a lot of this shit, don't they? So it's just a shame that when big newspapers and whatever are writing about it as well, and then just to gain traction, that's the most frustrating thing.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. All right, with that being said, if you are on YouTube, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and we'll see you pretty soon, I'm sure. In a bit.
Yeah, when there's a fucking game on.
Yeah, whatever that is, exactly.
United or Southampton, could be either, could be none. We don't know.
We don't know. Yeah, but either way, we'll be here. Thanks to everyone in the comments as well. There's been some really, really good chat from everybody, apart from Chris Brack. But yeah, that was all good. I'm all joking, Chris. Happy birthday, pal, from everybody in the comment. All the best, mate. And yeah, thanks to everybody. We appreciate it. So sorry, Tim. Go on, sign us off. Sorry, mate.
All right. Well, I'm just going to click this button now.